Hey there, Pisces. This is your February 2019 channeled tarot horoscope. For those of you who are new to me, hello, welcome to the channel. I always channel Spirit's message for you, whatever they want you to hear this month, so that you make the most out of this month. But then I also made my own little tarot spread where you get your soul's level lesson for the month, your human growth level lesson for the month, the challenge that you have to overcome to get that growth, a little bit of past, current, future. We're also going to look into, I did a 3-card spread for your love, a 3-card spread for money, and a 3-card spread for spiritual growth. So we're going to give you kind of like a comprehensive look at everything going on in your life. Now for those of you who are catching it live, I still can't see comments for whatever reason when I go live. So sorry there. But let's get straight to it, Pisces. So Pisces, there's kind of 3 things that we first kind of want to blurt out to you. There's a need to, for this situation, we would suggest for most of you, moving on, letting go, trying something new. If you happen to be in a situation where moving on isn't an option, then you have to move on from your expectation, or you have to move on from your demand, or you have to let go of what it is you want from the other person. For some of you, this will be a let go, break up, look for the new job. For those of you who you just absolutely can't, then you need to be the one to back down in the negotiation. There's a little bit of a need, Pisces, for you to be the bigger person, for you to be the one to either move on or to back down first. It's really, Pisces, as much as there is the growth from here to here of learning how to value yourself, learning how to speak up for yourself, learning how to say, this is what I want. You stay there for some time, enjoy it. But then there's also the next level growth of, here's what they need, here's what I need. Now that I know how to speak up for myself, then you get to play with the wiggle room of, okay, well, in this case, does it feel better if we watch the movie they want to watch, knowing next time I'll speak up for myself? And we'll give you an example from Kelly's personal life. There's a little bit of mismanagement of family money going on. Once Kelly realized this, she spoke up. She said something. The money for some time got allocated appropriately. When she went back home 6 months later, she realized it reverted right back to the old way. Does she know how to speak up for herself? Does she know how to say, hey, what you're doing isn't fair? Hey, that doesn't feel good? Yes, she's learned that first lesson. The second lesson is, now that you've learned how to speak up for yourself, Pisces, sometimes it isn't always worth it. She just thought, do I really want to have to every month call in, check in with the family, with the adults of the family who are twice my age, and kind of slap their hands with the family money? Is that where I want to spend my time, my energy, my effort? Her answer was no. She went, no, F that. I would rather spend my time in building my own empire. So now when she calls home and finds out a little bit of money mismanagement and squabbling, she just sits back and goes, God, I feel sorry for them, but that's the way they're wasting that money. They're wasting that money. Woo, look at this empire I'm building. Look at what I'm doing. I have fun in this. That we need you to make that shift, Pisces. You learned one lesson. Now it's time to learn the other lesson. You know how to speak up for yourself. Is this particular case worth it? Because they're also saying, guys, that there's a little bit of ego. This is not going to apply to every Pisces, this part. They were saying that for some of you, your ego is involved. Because what can happen when you learn that first lesson of speaking up for yourself, sometimes it can get you momentum going that you think you have to do it all the time, or it means you're a pushover. That's your ego. Let that go. It doesn't mean you're a pushover. Spirit so beautifully shared my personal family drama with you. It doesn't mean I'm a pushover, or that I don't care because I'm not speaking up. I don't want to spend my time or energy there. For those of you who it's like kind of involved with, does it say anything about me if they think XYZ about me? Let that go. That's your ego. It's what do you think about yourself? Where do you want to spend your time and move towards that? All right, Pisces, let's get into the tarot spread for you guys. So let's see. For the soul level lesson you got this month. Oh, wow. Interesting. It goes along with what they said. For your soul level lesson this month, you got the King of Fire. The King of Fire is the King of Wands. So there is something on your mind that's weighing you down, like spirit channel for you. But so this is where you're learning the lesson of discernment. You're confident, you know how to do it. You got the king, it's upright. And it's King of Wands, so you know how to speak your mind, but it's a little burdened mind. So it's about fine-tuning where you want to spend your energy, your soul level growth. On the human level, how that's playing out on the human level for you is you got the Six of Water reversed. The Six of Water upright is the card where you're reminiscing about the past. You're thinking of the good old days, the good old times, memories. Because it's reversed, you're realizing that your past doesn't dictate who you have to be. Going with the example that Spirit gave you, just because some of my family is mismanaging a family will and a family trust, and some people who weren't supposed to get anything are getting some, and some who are supposed to get, they're not. Who they are has no reflection on me. The action they're choosing has no reflection on me. But if I spend a lot of time thinking about them, then that means I'm this card. You need to get to the point to where you create your own value list. What do you value? For those of you who are going for finances, I would recommend reading David Bach. Books by him are really good because it helps you tap into what do you value. Tap into your value system so that you're not burdened by others' value systems. Tap into your value system so that you can outgrow your parents, outgrow your grandparents, outgrow the family drama, outgrow the work drama. If you guys are at work, this is kind of saying that don't get bogged down by the employees, your fellow coworkers. Let the work drama go. This is like your soul level lesson saying, let the work drama go. When you go home, as you get to your car, to the train, or to the bus, wind your energy down. I'm leaving work. The energy of work is going back to work. I'm getting into the energy of the present moment. I'm getting into the energy of I'm about to go home. I'm about to see my children. I'm about to see my wife. Or I'm about to go home by myself and just watch some movies. Do the little de-escalation of work and ramp up of your personal energy so that you can enjoy your personal time. Your soul is yearning for this. The human level is don't think about other people who don't matter. Why spend your time if they don't matter, It's kind of like, let's use the Kardashians as an example. Some people love them to pieces. Some people will buy anything that they've endorsed and put their name on. Other people hate them to death. Do you think, do the Kardashians make look like they give two Fs one way or another? They're like, don't like me? That's okay. I got 100 million people who do. I just sold out my launch. Adopt that attitude, guys. That's your soul level and your human level lesson. Because the energy that's challenging it looks like it is. It's the Queen of Water upright that's your challenge so that you can learn this lesson. I'm going to title this, Be the Kardashians. Because sometimes some people you can get, let's stick with the example for the Kardashians. They have makeup lines, right? I mean, they have all kinds of shit. I don't know everything they do. But I know that they have a makeup line. Some people are, if you don't use organically farmed, eco-friendly, fair trade products, you're evil. Some people will take it a step further and go, and if you're not buying from a third world country to support them, then you guys are evil. You are never going to be able to sell something that makes everybody happy. I get thumbs downs on my YouTube videos. You're never going to be able to make everyone happy, so you've got to give that up. You got to really get into the energy of what makes you happy. What makes you the Queen of Water upright? What makes you happy? Because you will never be able to make everyone else happy. So there's a little bit of you, since this is your challenge, is you're either trying to play the peacekeeper, play the peacekeeper. You're trying to make someone else happy. You're trying to, let's say that you do need to get a divorce. There might be a part of you that's holding on for the ego reason of, but it shows I'm a good wife if I keep trying. If I wait, it shows that I'm a good person and that he's the mean one. That's your ego level lesson that you got to get over and realize I love myself, so I'm going to move on and start the next chapter of my life. This is good. This is going to be big for a lot of you. This is really going to be big for a lot of you because it's letting go of that first lesson that you learn, where you learn how to speak up for yourself, you learn how to say no to your boss for overtime, you learn how to negotiate a higher salary, you learn how to speak up to your partner and say, hey, we've watched your movie like 3 times. Can we watch mine this time? I would feel loved. So you've learned how to speak up for yourself, okay? But let me give you an example of the negotiating salary. I hire people for my work, and I actually did want to hire more of a kind of semi-permanent part-time assistant. The assistant kept making such a huge demand for salary, and I just told him in the beginning, like, look, I'm not there. I don't see myself getting there in the next 6 months. I'm looking for more 3-4 hours a week. And at this rate, is that something that you're going to be satisfied with or not? For the first 2 or 3 months, she kept pushing for more. She kept pushing for more. She kept pushing for more. And I got to tell you, on my end, I was like, well, I'm really happy for her that she's learned how to negotiate. I'm really happy for her that she's speaking up for herself. But I told her what the job was, and all it did is it put pressure on me. Because I'm not at the place of hiring someone full. I don't even work 40 hours a week. I don't need someone else working 40 hours a week. So even though you've learned how to negotiate, let's say you go from working at like IBM, a big company that has a huge funding, and you're going to a smaller company, and you're recognizing that it's a salary decrease, but I'll get more time with my children. It's closer to home, so I get more time back in my day. Don't be that a-hole who keeps pushing for every single penny you could get. As much as it's good to speak up and say, hey guys, whoa, like I was expecting a little bit of a salary decrease, but this is a bit lower than what I thought it would be. I was thinking this range. Is there anything we could do to close the gap? Hear what they have to say. You don't necessarily need to keep pushing it. Because what I ended up doing when I needed hours outside of what I hired her for, she pushed so hard that it had to be a certain hourly rate that I was like, okay, forget it. It's not worth it to me. I didn't even hire her. That could have been extra money in her pocket if she would have let go of it needing to be like $100 per hour versus 75. It was like, all right, forget it. This isn't worth it. I'm not going to sit here and fight with you, negotiate with you when I just flat out don't have the funds to pay $100 an hour right now. Because when you learn that lesson that sometimes it's worth it, it's choose your battles wisely. That's what you're learning. But it's a big lesson. It's huge, guys. Just be kind with yourself as you do it, and really take a few moments to sit down, make a list. Like, what do I value out of life? And Google a value list. Do you value fun? Do you value safety, security? What does safety and security mean for you? 3 months emergency savings saved up, a year saved up. Make the list of what do you value, and then when something comes up, would taking action on that contribute towards your value system of life, or is it a time waster? Don't waste your time, Pisces. That's what don't waste your effing time. Okay, in terms of what happened in the past, yeah, so it kind of looks like you are celebrating some huge emotional growth. It looks like you are celebrating some really, really good news. And it's kind of like there's almost that little fear of, I just got this really good news. I need to keep the momentum going. If I don't, I'm going to lose it. So know that the little bit of desire that's within you to kind of push it, to kind of keep speaking up for yourself, you're not choosing your battles wisely. Know that it's just because there's an underlurking fear that if I don't keep up the momentum, it's going to go. Let's use the example. Let's say you were training for a marathon. And then you finish your first marathon, you get a good time. There might be part of you that's like, I need to train immediately, keep training, but maybe you just need to take 3 days off. Okay. The reason why you're like, I need to keep training. Oh my God, if I miss 1 day of running, I may not be able to compete in the next marathon. So there's a little bit of a fear that's motivating you to keep the momentum going of your recent success that you celebrated. Yeah, okay. So in terms of what's going on in the current moment, you got this on reverse. That means you're just not having fun. But it's because of what happened in the past. It's because you think in your head, your ego mind, that you're being motivated towards doing something good. but it's actually being motivated by an underlying fear. So let's give you a relationship example. Let's say combining all the cards that you've had so far. So let's say you did learn the lesson of being able to speak up to your partner about them paying their share of the bills. And then a bill comes up there like, oh, babe, I'm a little short this month. Can I pay you in 2 days? You're not being motivated by, no, I really need you to do this because of X, Y, Z. Motivated by love, motivated by you speaking up for yourself. There's a little bit motivated of, if I slip just once, he's going to come in and take advantage of me. It's being motivated by a little bit of fear. I hope that explains it for you guys. If not, comment below and ask me. But guys, come on. If you're dating someone, if you're thinking, no, if I slip once, they're going to take advantage of me, they're not who you want. If it's, I need to speak up and express what I would like them to contribute that would make me happy in a relationship, that you want to do. But if you're coming from the place of the fear, that's not a relationship that you want. In terms of what's coming in the future for you, it kind of, as of right now, this is an energetic snapshot. It really looks like you're going to start getting in your head about this. It looks like you're not going to take my advice. Guys, honestly, if you do just sit down and go, what do I value? And you can, I'm trying to think if someone has a little free sheet out there that you can go do. You know, there's one, this is kind of more financial. There's a guy called David Bach, B-A-C-H, and look for his Finish Rich compressed sheet. For those of you who this isn't for finances, still kind of read his step 1 and his step 2 examples on that compressed PDF that he has out there. It's probably the first like 10, 15 pages of the PDF. It will at least help you start thinking about what are your values. He kind of shows a way for you to start seeing the difference between a value and a goal. When you're going towards a goal that doesn't satisfy you, that doesn't fulfill a need or a value of yours, this is when you get in your head and you're like beating yourself up for not doing a good job. If you're moving towards a value of yours, that's where you feel good. That's where you feel good. That's where you're moving forward in life. It will just give you, it's the best example I could come up with on the fly to kind of help you guys start thinking about that way. And a real world example that I could give you guys is I had a client who's trying to manifest a house. As much as there is get into the energy of the new house, the spiritual side, the channeling side of it, there's also the human practical side of it where I had her look at her finances. It's like, well, what are your debts? What's your income? How much do you have saved? And then we were looking at her spending, like she was spending about $1,000 a month on lattes. At the time, I didn't say anything. I had her create her value system, and she created her value system. It was something like self-love, express, peace of mind, family, and action. She values money in the sense that it's self-love. It's a way for her to show herself that she loves herself in terms of health. It's a way that she gets to express. I get to buy jewelry that really expresses myself. I get to buy things that express who I am. It allows me to have peace of mind. If I have all my debt paid off and I have money saved up for 6 months, it's just peace of mind. It's a calm mind. It's family allows me, it lets me value my family because I get to put them first. If I have money in the bank, I'm not checking into a boss. I'm prioritizing my family. And then it was, if I have money, when I get an inspired idea, then I get to take action. Nowhere in that value list did lattes meet any of those. When we kind of dug a little deep into why she was buying so many lattes, it was for her, it was, oh, it's a status symbol. Remember what Spirit said earlier, that there's a little bit of ego, a little bit of thinking what you're doing is good? She was like, oh, it's a status symbol. It's a sign of luxury. I guess I viewed it as self-love because there's a way to pamper myself. And I went, okay, is pampering yourself your value, or is self-love in terms of having the money to go buy the organic stuff, shop at Whole Foods, shop at Trader Joe's? She went, the second one. She just saved herself $1,000 a month. And from that, instead of just kind of wasting the money on the lattes. For some of you, a latte is going to be part of your value system, and that's okay. For her, it wasn't. Once she kind of reshifted how she looked at money and viewed showing herself self-love, now when she goes to Whole Foods, instead of dreading it, she's like, no, I'm choosing to pay the higher grocery bill because this is me showing myself self-love and my family love. So then she started feeling good about shopping at Whole Foods and good about not spending money on the lattes. That was $1,000 a month. Over 6 months, she had an extra $6,000 for her house down payment. And there were a lot of other ways that we kind of looked at how she was spending money, how she valued it, to help her. I think we ended up getting like an extra 25,000 in 6 months for her. So that is how big of a deal, guys. If you make the value system, then you are working towards what you want, something that replenishes you. Instead of a $6 latte going out, you're, hey, I'm saving $6 towards my house payment. Every day you're giving yourself a boost of positivity. So I would encourage you guys to sit down. What are my top 5 values of how I value money? What does money mean to me? What does it allow me to do? How do I value my downtime? Do you value being able to play games, or do you value nourishing, getting knowledge for your mind? Then spend your time towards those value system, guys. You're going to have a much more fulfilling life if you do. All right, Pisces, so give me a comment afterwards after that. If you liked the video, if you thought the advice was helpful, one way to show support for this channel is a thumbs up, a subscribe, a share. And to those of you who donate, thank you so much. There's a PayPal link down below, guys. I appreciate it so much. It really helps me keep going and doing this. I'm going to dig into love, money, and spiritual growth right now. Okay, so in terms of love, you very likely have an ending. Sorry, guys. I hate giving bad news. 3 of air. This is the card of like heartbreak, sorrow. It could mean you're at a stage of forgiveness. It kind of looks like you got the 10 of fire, which is the card of endings. So you are either having a breakup, an ending, or you are ending one segment of your relationship so you could start a new one. It's kind of like the examples we were giving earlier of you being like headstrong. And insisting that the man pays every time you go out. You might hit a place of, okay, you know what? He doesn't have to pay every single time we go out. If it's like 80-20, 70-30, 60-40, whatever you work out, you're like ending that chapter of your life. You're ending the chapter of, if he loved me, he would pay. And you're starting to see love in a different way. So it's either a breakup or you're having a complete mental shift of how you view the relationship. And I say that because you did get the Knight of Water upright. So if it's an ending, there is love between you two. So take some solace in that. There is love between you two. So it's more about how can we lovingly end this so that we both feel as enriched as we possibly can, given that it's a breakup. How can we end this in a smooth, harmonious way? Or how can we give up fighting with each other every single day? How can we give up fighting with each other every single day so that we can get to the water instead of the fighting? So in terms of love, though, it looks like there is a lot of sadness. There's a little bit of need for forgiveness. It looks like it very likely could be the end of a relationship, if not an end to a chapter of it. Just know that there is a base level of love in there. And if you're not in a relationship, this could be talking about a friendship. This could be talking about leaving work. It just means you're heavily emotionally invested in your work. If this is talking about work for you guys and not a loving partner, like romantic partner. Let me see. Just for those of you who are going through an end, a breakup, just be as kind as possible. Treat them as you would a neighbor. They're not any worse or less than a neighbor now. You would be kind to your neighbor. If you saw them walking, struggling out while taking their trash out, you would help them. Don't treat them any less than you would treat your neighbor, is our advice to you. Okay, in terms of money looks pretty good. Money looks pretty good for you guys. You got the Magician upright. It's a major arcana card. You got the Magician. This is the guy who could manifest, the guy who has a good life. You got the Queen of Air upright. So it does look like money is on your mind, but you're also feeling confident about it. So money's on your mind, you're feeling confident about it, but you also got the 3 of Fire. The 3 of Fire is the wand. So I would say money looks good. You're definitely going to have some opportunities. You're either going to have opportunities presented to you to make new money, or you're going to be coming up with ideas of how you can make money. You might start, like, guys, honestly, go make a list of 30 things that you could do right now to make money. I could start babysitting. I could dog walk. I could house sit. I could go drive Uber. I could sell some things in my house. Go make a list of 30 things you could do to just start getting your energy jogged. But so you'll either have opportunities or start getting some ideas of how you can make money. It does look like you are taking a kind of hard look at your finances and you're really thinking about it, planning. You guys, in terms of financial coaches, I've always liked David Bach, who I mentioned earlier, and I like Dave Ramsey. I personally combine both of theirs, and I combine like Esther Hicks' Law of Attraction for my personal finances, and it works out well for me. But there's some good resources you guys could go look at. But it looks like you're going to have opportunities coming in, guys. Like some money looks good for you. Be aware, though, that like because you're in your head, Pisces, say yes to opportunities. Say yes. If someone says, hey, my gym's giving away a free membership to one of my friends for a month, just go ahead and say yes to it, because that's going to get you the momentum built to saying yes. If you get a free latte, say yes. Don't get, because like this combo too, guys, it can mean, God, especially with the Queen of Air showing up right in the middle of, you can manifest anything, good opportunities, freaking Debbie Downer in the middle though. That can look like where someone's like, oh, you need 30,000. Well, hey, you know, I know someone who's willing to pay like $200 for an hour of time this Saturday. This card would say, awesome, I'll do it. Thank you. Because then you're in the energy of yes, saying yes to money. The universe is going to send you more. This, if you happen to do this month, that's where you're like, $200 isn't going to solve my problem. No. Then you're saying no to money. Then you're going to slow the momentum for money coming your way. So a little bit of caveat to be aware of there. Just say yes. Say yes, Pisces. Okay, in terms of your spiritual growth. Wow, interesting. So spiritual growth, it looks like, so I'm not seeing spiritual growth in terms of spiritual growth of you guys like connecting to your spirit guides, aligning your chakras and that kind of stuff. But I am seeing that because look at all of these cards are upright. It's King of Earth, King of Pentacles, combined with the Star, the Happy card, the Luck card, and Six of Earth is all about like balance. You are heavily searching for the meaning of life this month, Pisces. You are heavily searching for what is the meaning of life. So this could be how it's playing out is, well, I've got all the money, but like, now what? I didn't realize is this really what I'm going to be doing the rest of my life? Or it's like, wait, I've made a couple businesses. I thought that's what's going to make me happy, but now what? You're really going to be looking for the meaning of life. So you're really going to evaluate pretty heavily what you value and what you don't value. And you will very likely be snipping some friends out of your life, guys. It doesn't have to be painful. It doesn't have to. That's what they were talking about in this one, guys, in terms of love. It doesn't have to be painful. You know, there's some friends where like, I was best friends with them when I started my business. 9 months into it, that we hung out like every day supporting each other. Business is hard. 9 months into it, though, I'm really good at energy work. Business is like freaking easy for me now. I love it. One, I love doing this. My clients love me. I love them. And I'm a really good energy worker, too. Business became easy for me. She stayed on the struggle bus every time I went over there. Struggle bus, struggle bus, struggle bus. And so many clients are coming in. And then she would always try to say, well, you're the one making money, you should pay. By the time I paid for her, our income was equalized. I didn't call her evil or anything. It was just, hey, you know, like, look, I want to keep hanging out with you. I want to maintain our friendship. However, like, I don't have the funds to pay every single time we go out. I need to know that if we're going to go out, you're not assuming that I'm paying. If you have that assumption, please just don't invite me out, or be willing to come in and eat in. If you want to eat in at home, call me, let me know. She never called me. She sent me a text like, well, you were supposed to invite me out. I'm like, no. My value list is not just giving my money away to others. My value list is building. Okay, I hope that gives you guys enough crazy confidence with my personal examples and with Kardashians being thrown at you. People love to hate them, man. Sometimes I love to hate them. To give you wild and wicked permission to like, you tapping into what is your meaning of life, you tapping into your value system, and you going after it, Pisces. So guys, I do have some offers up on my website right now. If you go to the kellylunt.com, click on the work with me page, I am offering mediumship readings. I've never really done that before publicly, but if there is a crossover loved one that you would like to connect with, you just navigate to that page. You'll see the button, you click on it. You'll get redirected to a typical checkout page. You'll enter the normal details, and then I follow up. I tend to get to it midday the next day. I send out the scheduling link so that we can get our call scheduled. And I also have a 90-minute intensive on there. That is for people who you want a complete radical emotional reset in like 2, 3 areas of your life, and you want a clear head so that you can get forward positive movement in your life again. I have both of those on my website right now. I'll likely do another workshop soon, which will be much lower price than those one-on-ones on my website. So send me an email if you want to make sure you hear about the workshop when it gets open. Love you guys. Bye.